Okay, next up we have, who do we have? From San Francisco, the company is called Qidni Labs. Please welcome Morteza Almadi.
Good evening. Kidneys are important organs, but if they fail, there's only one option to use to survive, and that's dialysis. Dialysis costs about $82,000 per patient per year, and there are more than 650,000 patients in the United States with kidney failure. That all adds up to a huge market size of more than $50 billion per year only in the United States. Patients have to go to dialysis clinics 3 times a week to clean their blood. However, this is associated with very low survival rate of about 40% in 5 years. Several studies suggest that to improve survival rates, patients are going to need treatment times which are more frequent, more than 3 times a week, and that's where we come in. We're building a miniaturized device that fits in the palm of your hand. It's a wearable device that provides solution for these patients. They can have access to treatment a lot more frequently than current dialysis. This device is going to provide a better life for these patients. We have already tested this device in pig models at UCLA, and so far the result has been satisfactory. Our business model is based on renting our device for $50 per day to distribution channels. The distribution channels are providing the device for free, the service for free to patients, and they get reimbursed by Medicare and Medicaid. We work closely with FDA to bring the device to market. Our team of 8 people are helping us out and focus on developing the device and bring it to market. We are raising $500,000, and we're going to use that to test our device in sheep models with no kidney function for up to 7 days. Most of that money is going to be used to hire people locally in Buffalo. Thank you very much.
Good job, Michelle. Okay, Jill, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, I think it's a fantastic idea. My main question is really, do you think this is going to be too sophisticated of a device for your patient to take home and use? It's going to have to be validated. You're going to have to run controls on it. You know, have you thought through the whole process of this?
It's not easy to commercialize this product and bring it to market, but if it happens, it's a huge market, so it's worth it. So it's more than $50 billion just in the US. In terms of complexity for the patient, we make it so super easy for them to use this device that they need minimum training for using it. And then after that, they're on their own. They can travel, they can live a very normal life pretty much.
So my understanding is in many of these cases, right, for women or individuals of color in particular, right, there's an element that there are other things going on in their life. So one, are you worried or have you heard any pushback around the lack of socialization, right, that I won't be able to go and actually talk to folks to ask about my health care? And the second thing is when you have other combining diseases or chronic issues, is there not some value lost because somebody can't put their eyes on you? You think about Meals on Wheels, like they're successful because they're going into elder homes and they're looking around, they're looking in their eyes, are they healthy? So I'm just concerned, what are we sacrificing for technology with that human interaction of making sure somebody is really okay?
We are actually making it a lot better and easier for them. The data goes online on the cloud, physicians can have access to it, they don't need to be there present to look at it. So it's a lot easier for them. They're very mobile, they can work, they can have a very normal life.
Is the doctor seeing them?
If they need to, yes, but a lot less frequently. So there's an economy right there that the patient is the end user, so they don't need as much hospitalization or visits to a nephrologist or nurses for that.
Yeah, as I'm sure you're well aware, you know, when you're innovating in med tech, really getting in there and immersing in the clinical environment and understanding the customer need is first and foremost in product innovation. And I guess my question is, and it's a build on Melissa's, which is as you think about this and as you've done that work, what are the trade-offs that patients see in terms of going to the clinic versus doing it at home? Is there a need truly to do it at home, and are they going to embrace the product? There's other home dialysis systems out there, so how has the adoption for those been?
So before we started the company, we actually went online and talked to a lot of these patients. They have forums that support each other. They can give you a lot of feedback that what are they looking for. So we use that information to figure out what's the best product for them to be built. Now, there is a lot of issues with the current system that are used, these patients use at home. For example, the system is still the same system that they use at the hospitals, but they still need a lot of fluid shipped to their home to use that. The whole family is usually involved. The way we're looking at this is that we can make this technology so much easier for them to use. It should be just like plug and play. I have a hemodialysis catheter here. This is connected to all these patients. This is like a USB. It's globally standard. So that means that as long as they have this on them, they can simply connect our device to them, and off they go. They can use it. And that gives them mobility. They can work, they can travel. They don't need to be at home or go to hospital to use it.
Do you have a prototype today?
We do, and we have tested that in pig models with no kidney function at UCLA. There was simply no time to show that video. I showed that in the morning.
Because it just feels like such a big opportunity, and I feel like maybe you're not even asking for enough. I'm worried you're not asking for enough capital for how big.
This is a bridge round for a larger amount that we are raising for $2 million. Now we know with this we can get enough data to show that the animal survives for 7 days with no kidney function. We already have spoken with enough VCs and investors, and we know that with that data we can get that $2 million of money to expand that 7 days to 30 days, which is the data required by FDA to let us start testing in patients.
What's the path and timing to making it subcutaneous? Because ultimately that seems like where you want to get it to, right? It's not external, but to put it under the skin.
Eventually, it looks cool to have an implant, but when you think about it, the problem of implant and external is that, when you think about it, the difference is in vascular access. Are you taking blood externally or internally? Are you pumping blood into the system externally or internally? Internal devices, implant devices, have their own issues as well in terms of risk of thrombosis and infection. We figured there is larger economy to bring in the device to market externally first, if we want to do that, and there's a huge market for it. An implant is going to be expensive and limited to a certain number of people only, but an external device can be super cheap, and we want to remove all the barriers in between us and the patients.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.